Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Coffee with Craig. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Before we get started, please remember to like and share this video feed. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page. Please share them all. Let's get everybody connected, and let's all talk about the fight to protect our constitutional right to keep and bear arms. One of the things that I wanted to note to you guys before we get started and everything is, I wanted you to remember we're doing a membership drive. All right. Now, in this membership drive, we have a special deal going, and I wanted to share with you a little video that we put together to kind of encourage you guys as to the value and the importance of being a member of the Firearms Policy Coalition.
It's a very simple concept. Second Amendment rights shall not be infringed. FPC believes that the Constitution means exactly what it says. No compromises and no capitulation. History shows that gun control is a one-way ratchet with so-called compromises, resulting only in more laws affecting law-abiding people and fewer ways to exercise our Second Amendment rights. That's why when a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually expand our freedoms at the federal level comes along, we cannot afford to let it go to waste. But that is exactly what's happening. We're watching as DC politicians play compromise games with the arch-enemies of freedom. They're refusing to even vote on the most pro-Second Amendment piece of legislation that we have seen in generations. That's why FPC is taking the fight to Washington, D.C., and we need you to join us. That's right, we're discounting our membership price to make it easier for you to get involved. If you're already a member, you can even extend your membership at the discounted rate if you hurry. So what are you waiting for? Join the fight for freedom today and help us stand tall against the DC politicians who are playing games with your rights. Now is the time to stand.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.
All right, sorry about that. I probably should have cut off the end of that. But anyway, you guys get the point. The thing is that, once again, we're expanding. The work that we're doing is going beyond just California. Not just California, but California, Washington, Oregon, all the way to Washington, D.C. And if there was ever a time to fight, now's the time. We should be on the offensive. We have people who claim to support the Second Amendment, who are controlling Congress, who are in the majority in Congress, and who are the majority in both houses of Congress and the White House. It's time for us to go on the offensive and make sure that our rights are protected. Anyway, so I want to encourage you guys. We have a special deal going right now, just a $15 membership. Now, mind you, you don't get any patches or anything with that because it's a basic membership, but it'll help get you plugged in and help you guys support our efforts. You'll also be entered to win this Kriss Vector. It is a very cool looking firearm. Even if you're here in the state of California, it will. We do have the ability to make sure that it is California compliant. I know those of you in the rest of the country are probably like, but hey, that's what we got to deal with here in California. But anyway, we wanted to let you guys know, so you'll be entered. Now, once again, as I always say, you do not have to join to enter. All right, but you do have to enter to win. So at the very least, you need to follow the link in this video in order to get to in order to be able to do that. So let's move right along. Now, we all know that, folks in some of the major retailers who sell firearms and firearms accessories, let's just be honest. We all know that they are out for themselves first. They are not friends of the Second Amendment. We've seen time and time again where their big money lobbyists are able to come in. They'll talk with legislators and get some capitulations that work for them, but don't necessarily work for law-abiding citizens and don't work for smaller firearms retailers who are really the ones who are helping us exercise our Second Amendment rights, who are there on a daily basis doing the private party transfers and all of that stuff. So that's anyway, so that's what's going on with them. But Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, have decided that they are no longer going to sell "quote unquote" assault rifle style firearms, which we know there's no such thing. An assault rifle is it's an automatic firearm, which basically are used in the military but there's really no such thing as an assault weapon. We know this. But they've also said that they're not going to sell firearms to anyone under the age of 21. You know, right after the thing, they came out with this whole new policies thing. Anyway, let's look at a piece real quick that was done where they actually interviewed the CEO of Dick's, and he kind of explains a little bit about about why he's doing what he's doing.
Our exclusive interview with Ed Stack. He's the chairman and CEO of Dick's Sporting Goods, the nation's largest sporting goods retailer. And just moments ago, he released an open letter announcing that Dick's will no longer sell assault-style rifles, no longer sell firearms to anyone under 21 years of age, no longer sell high-capacity magazines. He's here to explain why. Good morning, Ed.
Thanks.
This is a dramatic move. Tell us why you're taking it.
Well, thanks for having me today to talk about this. And as we looked at what happened down in Parkland, and we were so disturbed and saddened by what happened, we felt we really needed to do something.
It's pretty clear you believe right now you can support the Second Amendment, still do more to protect schools.
Yeah, we're staunch supporters of the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner myself, but we've just decided that based on what's happened and with these guns, we don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, the ending of that was they didn't want to be a part of this story. I can't believe I cut that off. Anyway, so they didn't want to, quote unquote, be a part of this story. So then why, when you make your announcement, are you going and doing all of the major news networks saying that you're changing your policy? No, it's not that you didn't want to be a part of the story. You wanted to be in the middle of the story. And look, Mr. I support the Second Amendment, or Second Amendment, but I got that from Arms Room Radio. This guy is a Second Amendment, but. In other words, well, I support the Second Amendment, but. In other words, I support my right to own a gun, because like he says, he owns a gun. But if you are a law-abiding citizen under the age of 21, between the ages of 18 and 20, well, guess what? He doesn't support your right to keep and bear arms. In fact, he is going out of his way to infringe on your right to keep and bear arms. I think that's called age discrimination. Well, actually, I'm not the only one that would recognize that it is age discrimination.
20-year-old Oregon man, Tyler Watson, he's filing the first lawsuit against both Dick's Sporting Goods and Walmart. He's saying age discrimination. They refuse to sell him a rifle. Both retailers restricting gun sales to adults 21 and older. This is after the Florida high school massacre. Oregon state law lets residents, though, buy shotguns or rifles starting at age 18.
So, in other words, the law says that at 18, in many states, you can buy a rifle. Federal law says that at age 18, you can buy a rifle. So my question here is, upon what does he think? I mean, what makes them think they have a legal right to be able to say, no, we are not. We are going to deprive you of your constitutional right to keep and bear arms. We are going to refuse service to you. Let's see. I do believe that somewhere there are a couple of cake makers who decided that they wanted to make. Anyway, the point is that he's going to, I believe that they are going to find out very, very quickly that you are not allowed to just arbitrarily decide that you are going to discriminate. In fact, here's a more detailed analysis by Fox's Judge Andrew Napolitano.
Oregon, like New Jersey and New York, prohibits age discrimination starting at age 18. The federal prohibition on age discrimination starts at age 40 and ends at age 70. You're only in a protected class between 40 and 70. Oregon, New Jersey, New York, Illinois, California start at 18 and go beyond 70. So, stated differently, Dick's can't refuse to sell a lawful product to someone on the basis of age unless they're below 18.
Exactly. So, now mind you, as he pointed out, now this is not because of federal law. Federal law basically says age discrimination doesn't start till 40, but it starts at 18 in liberal states like California, Oregon, Washington. I mean, he just rattled off a bunch of states where age discrimination starts at age 18. Now, what's funny is a lot of these policies were put in place by left-wing liberals. That's right. They're the ones who put the age discrimination laws in place. And now it's going to come back to bite them in the butt, because when this guy sues them, well, first of all, he is suing them. He is suing Walmart. I am just praying that he does well. Now, one of the things that was brought up, it might be good to do a class action lawsuit, because this is a lawsuit that could take a while. You know, you want to include people who are who are younger, maybe 18 years old, so that, because this is going to take a while to get through the courts, because obviously, you know, one, it's the Ninth Circuit, and we all know how slow they are. Number two, we all know how, well, not the Ninth Circuit, but it'll go through it'll go through state courts, not federal court. But we all know how slow the courts can be when it comes to the Second Amendment. So you want to make sure you have someone who's still going to be under the age of 21 before the case becomes done. But you know, in the end, let's just say this: the day that this was announced, the stock prices for Dick's Sporting Goods went down. It's kind of teetered. It's kind of been up and down over the last year to 5 years. It really hasn't been very, very strong. And I think it's time that anyone who loves their constitutional rights just decide they are no longer going to be shopping at Dick's, because, hey, you know, I just have a very hard time spending my money in places who do not believe in my constitutional right, who were willing to go out of their way to deprive me of my constitutional right to keep and bear arms. The thing is just like this individual believes he has a right to decide who he wants to do business with, I have a right to decide who I want to do business with. And I hope and I pray that you all will do the same and just recognize and make sure that it hurts this guy right here, hurts him in his pocket, so that he understands.
Moral is, don't be a dick.
That's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and share. Let everybody know about the Firearms Policy Coalition. We are the home in the fight for civil rights. Got to use them or you're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.